just back there, of course, you've got a very busy dual carriageway. As soon as you enter into the other world, then got some blackbirds in the distance going crazy about something. Sounds like there may be a predator. I can't think what sort of predator. We don't have any real predators. It's not like we've got any snakes or any shit like that. Oh, it's a magpie. Okay. So, we have a magpie which is obviously, evidently nest raiding, because they eat eggs, they will eat young. And so the blackbirds are attacking the magpie, getting rid of it. And so, you know, this is just about awareness, people, because tuned in to certain intonations of the wildlife around you, and although it's very noisy just coming off the road there into this, I heard that cacophony, and I'm like, okay, someone's having some aggro. And so then I'm like, okay, I'm speculating what it is, but then I saw what it is. And so there you have it. You know, people don't realise that there's a lot going on out there in that nature world that we've got no awareness of. There's all different sorts of sinister things going on, like, you know, other birds trying to eat your birds, your eggs, and, you know, your young. You know, and this is a country where we don't have a lot of predators. We've not got like monkeys flying through the trees. We've not got snakes up in the trees. We've not got like kind of, I don't know, mongooses and different sorts of marsupial creatures that, you know, are up in the trees. I mean, squirrels, they will eat eggs and little chicks, apparently. You wouldn't think so, but they do. And so, you know, we don't have a lot of that, and so that's what England's got going for it in that respect. But of course it does happen. Anyway, wow. So, the video I made about We Are God, as I come out, you know, 10 minutes ago, and nothing going on in relation to that, nobody wanted to engage in a conversation or, you know, express that they like that video, anything like that. Whew. But you see, you guys, just like that blackbird there, you've got shit to deal with. You're like chap to your kids, your friends, your families, your work colleagues, your boss or your staff, chap, and then you come and see a video about God. Who gives a fuck? Chap. The kids, you know, coming in, you know, covered in shit, chap, and that's how it is, isn't it? It's just a constant cacophony of fucking chirping. And here's me, you know, in a state of bliss, thinking about the huge cosmic questions. Who's interested? Who can settle down to think about this stuff? Very, very few. And the few people that can live very sedentary lives. They don't have partners or families or jobs or any of that stuff going on. They, you know, sit in front of the computer for a good portion of each day. And so that's my market, basically, because anybody else can't keep up with how prolific my videos are. They just don't have the time to apply themselves to some of these big thoughts. And even, you know, they may find it interesting. It's kind of like, oh, I can't get involved in comments, and, you know, because then, you know, Aaron probably replied back to me, and then I can't do it. And then, you know, chap, someone's knocking on your door, and it's kind of like, fuck you hell. The cops are there, you know, because your son's been arrested for this and that, and, you know, oh my goodness. Yeah, been there and done all that one, people. Anyway, you know, I settled right back down. It's just me in the cosmos, and I'm thinking about these, you know, big questions. And, you know, one of the things I want to engage with, and tentatively, I'm just starting now, you know, with a couple of people, delving into the bigger subjects. But you know, and even if I ask, what do you think about this and what do you think about that, then I don't want to know the answers. And you know why I don't want to know the answers? Because the answers invariably are just going to be knee-jerk bias reactions. They're not going to be deeply thought out. They're not going to be coming from a place which is deeply philosophical, deeply spiritual, deeply psychological, deeply intelligent. They're just going to be, and that's it. And kind of like, oh, fucking hell, just like a bunch of those blackbirds. Chirp, 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 chirp. You know, going back to the old days in Greece, where people started to convene around the Stoa, the marketplace, kind of like a roof on some, you know, concrete pillars or marble pillars, called a Stoa. And people used to sit under the Stoa, and that's why you have this term called Stoics. Who used to just like philosophize about things, think deeply, and, you know, have all these wonderful conversations with other people that didn't have 1,000,001 things to do each day. They could apply themselves to, you know, these questions. And this is why philosophers, they've always been independently wealthy. They've come from wealthy families, they've had an inheritance, they don't need to work, and so, you know, that's their privilege. But anybody that does need to enter into slavery, of course, the philosophical nature of whatever we are just gets relegated to the back burner, doesn't it? And it's only the really accomplished people, I suppose, who can afford to choose what they're going to do with their time. But then you see, depending on what level of accomplishment, if you think Elon Musk is accomplished, well, he would never get 2 seconds to himself in any given day. And he's often openly professing that you wouldn't want to be me. You wouldn't deal with this shit. It's a state of madness. Of course it is. Anybody that's so prolific and considered to be a genius, there's always too much going on. And so, you know, what I'm asking for really is absurd. Because who can give it? Who can supply it? Who can engage with it? Very few. But in any case, you know, there are 1 or 2. So, you know, I'll be making more videos with these people who intermittently, now and again, can just scratch a couple of hours free and engage in a little bit of something. But, you know, I look at this world and what we are from the tools that I've been blessed with and have acquired. So again, there's a lot of stuff going on of nature and nurture, and, you know, education and experience, cleaning up our motherboard of programs that don't serve us, eradicating the biases that we've collected along our way. And so one of the beautiful things about the spiritual awakening is that when you get torn down and you find yourself on the floor, and I've said in my book, in actual fact, I went beyond the floor. I went down into what Jungian psychology, Nietzschean, would describe as the abyss. I went into the abyss. It's several floors down from the bottom rung on the ladder. And then you have to work your way back up. You have to dig your way out of the depths of those deep, dark, dank caverns that we can fall into when we reach a certain point in our lives. But you see, we don't take no prisoners when we do that. and we're not carrying any baggage which isn't useful to us. So it's a wonderful thing because it enables us to clean ourselves. It's a great cleansing process because we rewrite our motherboard. We rewrite from the very beginning anything that is meaningful to us. And anything that isn't meaningful or we can't put into a useful category, then we eradicate. We don't. It's like having, like, let's say your house is all crumbled, through an earthquake onto the ground. You start cleaning up the bricks and you see what you can salvage, and you pile your useful timbers to one side and then the clean bricks to another side, and then you have to re-dig the foundation that isn't going to be shook in a moderate earthquake. So you build a deeper and more substantial foundation, and then you place every brick very, very carefully on top of that. So by the time you've risen up, like I have done, you've got a very good idea of what it is to be a human being. I've got a very good idea of what it is to be Aaron Berry. And if you ask me about any single thing that I say, I can go back to the day I placed that brick, and I can tell you why I placed it, why I chipped away all the old mortar from that brick from its original placing, and why I replaced it in the way and manner in which I did. And so this is why we can engage in these conversations. And I'm listening to a lot of Osho recently again, listened to him for years, but people like that, they can be asked anything, a whole myriad of questions, and they'll just think, they'll go back to that particular brick, and then they will metaphorically take it out, and then they will start speaking from it. And it could be 20, 30 years ago when they placed that brick. But everything which pertains to the knowledge of that brick has been remembered. It's not clouded, or it's not obscured or tainted, tarnished with nonsense, because we've cleaned out the rubble, and we've assessed and we've rebuilt. And it's an amazing, marvellous thing, because then we don't talk shit. We don't talk about things we don't know about or we haven't experienced, and we don't have the deepest of connections with. And so it really is a transformative experience. But then you see, when you have built your edifice, and then you're looking around to see who else has risen out of the rubble. If there's been an earthquake in the region, you're looking around over all the rubble, and you're trying to discern whether anybody else is building or has built their new house out of the rubble. And what we find is that there's very, very few people that actually survive the earthquake, that have the energy, tenacity, gumption, whatever it takes to start again. If you're at a certain age, you're not going to do it. You have to be young and strong if you're going to do this. And so my implosion came about when I was at my physical peak, about 45 years old. I was physically the strongest I've ever been when I was 47. That's kind of like, leaving it a bit late for most people. Most people, they'll peak between 20 and 30. But I just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And, some people are like that. You can see boxers who are, still fighting at 50 and still putting up a right good fight to guys half their age. Because some people just have this natural power. They've got cosmic power. George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, people like that, spring to mind. And so, what do we do then? Well, we write stuff down and we write books, because there's nobody around to lend ear to what we're saying. And I suppose we take solace in writing it down and then paying it forward, in the hope that somebody's going to find it one day and benefit from it. and it's a shame that, you know, I'm not going to be around to answer their questions. And so what happens then is that people pick up this literature and then they start speculating about what the authors were meaning. Oh, we think that this was meant and that's meant, and all the rest of the stuff like that. I suppose the beauty with what I'm doing is that because it's so broadly documented in videos, and I'll go on to write it down more, I've gone over and over and over and kind of like filled in all the gaps, you know. And so it's not just like I just said something once, because you need to say things over and over and over and over again, and each time you say them you add a little bit, you keep adding and you modify, and you know, this and the other. And so, you know, that's what I've been doing, that's what I'm still doing. And when I look at the nature of what it is to be, and I look at scriptures and how people have told us that there's God out there somewhere, and I've investigated it. Well, for all these years that I've been investigating it, I haven't found anything which is even close to anything being out there. There's absolutely nothing out there, because there is no out there. It's all Maya. And the only thing that we can depend on is our subjective experience. And what is our subjective experience primarily is seated in consciousness, which we know nothing about. And so it just stands to reason to suppose that the only thing that we cannot deny, the only thing that we cannot really find and have any idea what it is consciousness. And so in my book I relate consciousness to God, and I ask the question, what is consciousness? Is consciousness is consciousness and godliness not the same thing? They're just different words, people, just interpretation. Some people like to point out up to the sky somewhere and take away any value that they have personally, due to how they've been poisoned. And other people will go, well, no, I don't see God being up there, I don't feel God being up there, I see and feel God here. And so all the rest of that stuff is just nonsense, and it's just perspective, and it's just projection, because at the end of the day, if we look at this stuff rationally and reasonably, and of course many people have done, philosophers and, you know, scientifically inclined people, then these so-called fictions of God, they just cannot be found in any shape or form. What can be found? Human consciousness can be found, and many things deriving out of human consciousness. So it seems to me that consciousness deriving from the human being is the seat of all things, because there's nothing that we as human beings can go beyond. We cannot go into the mind of God if it's outside our minds. We cannot speculate about anything that we can't speculate about. And so everything that we imagine, everything that we can speculate about, every single question that we can answer or ask ourselves, then that all pertains to what we are. And so therefore then, it seems to me that, you know, we're just looking for ourselves. We're looking for ourselves, with ourselves, at ourselves. There is nothing else, people. And, you know, it's just so ridiculous to say, oh, there is something else. And then you go, well, where is it? Well, it's out there. Well, first and foremost, there is no out there, because even the concept of being out there comes from in here. So whatever concept you've got of the abyss or the cosmos, or, you know, some dimension where this bearded dude is working on a computer, you know, making earths and worlds and things like that, well, it all comes from here, doesn't it? And you just can't help but have pity for small minds and narrow states of consciousness which desperately seem to need that. I'm like, well, just be fucking real. What can you prove with your own mind? Everything that you think about, everything that we can imagine at some stage, if we imagine it long and hard enough, collectively we'll be able to create that. Or look at what we've done. We've created gods in pies in skies, and we've convinced ourselves through our own indoctrination and programming that that is a reality. And we even go as far as to call ourselves disgusting, vile, and the only thing that's got any purity is that thing that we've invented in the sky. Sounds sick. And like Sigmund Freud said, he said religion is the world psychosis. It's a sickness. It's an illness. To really desperately need something to be outside of yourself. To create something which is outside. There is no outside. There cannot be anything pertaining to the human being which is outside of consciousness. And so every single thing that exists in this cosmos or billion cosmoses have to be within human consciousness, otherwise we can never ever know them. And if we can't know them, then they don't exist. And whatever we're speculating about, well, we create that in our imagination. So again, it all falls back down to us. All roads lead to Rome, people, and that is human consciousness. This is absolutely irrefutable. Nobody on the planet could ever refute it. And the only people that will be vehemently opposed to it now are people which are just sick, mentally ill. And they do all the things that they're not supposed to do, like get angry and judge and hate and want to hurt people and all these sort of things. So you look at that and you go, wow, not only are they completely delusionary, that they potentially very violent and hateful, which is a complete contradiction to what they're supposed to believe in. Fuck. I'm telling you, people, don't let these people near your children. Don't leave them alone with anyone that's vulnerable. You don't know what they're going to do. They're very potentially evil.